welcome to episode 3 of My Salty Sea Life. I'm Larkin and I will be your host as we take an inside look at what it's really like to live and work aboard a ship on the open sea. Last week we got underway. This week we begin the data collection, Science-y. First things first, where are we? We started our journey in Honolulu, Hawaii. We traveled southeast 1,288 miles. That's about 4.5 days as the crow flies. Till we got here at 3 degrees north and 152 degrees west. Official location, the middle of nowhere. Oh, okay. Well, now that we know where we are, what are we doing here? Science is our name, getting mud is our game. That's right, we're here for mud. But Larkin, there's no mud here. We're surrounded by thousands of miles of water. You're right, we are. But there's mud below us, and that's the mud we're after. What? That's gonna be like a mile down or something. Actually, it's 5,300 meters, which means 17,388 feet, aka 3.3 miles all the way down to the ocean floor. And how are we planning on getting that? I'm so glad you asked that. Allow me to introduce you to the Multicore. I give you the MC800, 1,200 pounds of pure mud collection bliss. This beautiful piece extracts samples so that the bottom layer of seawater and the top layer of sediment remain intact, even on the 3.3 mile ascent to the surface. Drew will explain how.
So what happens is we'll deploy this off the back of the ship, and we'll lower this all the way to the bottom. And once it hits the bottom, this part here will actually sink down into the mud a couple feet, and these tubes will fill with mud. And then once we start pulling back up on the wire, the slide collar will release all the lids and feet, and that'll trap the mud into the tubes. And a little something like this. And so when we come back up to the surface, we have perfect samples from the mud and the water from the seafloor trapped inside these 8 shuttles, and the scientists can take them into their labs and they can sample them.
Science is so exciting, especially when you're exploring places with new equipment that's never been used before. It can also be a little frustrating when it doesn't work out the way you think it's going to. But the payoff is amazing and worth all the hard work.
You are watching our dear Multicore about to contact the ocean floor. At this point, we had a couple of unsuccessful cores. That means no mud, so the pressure was on to bring good samples to the surface. By the way, yours truly is landing this one.
Impact. Oh wow, that looks good.
That was a lot easier. Now watch that get down to there. Okay, so now it should be locked in. So now when it comes up, this
Just be a perfect core if it works.
Increase speed.
Oh, I got a couple of them. it released that one.
There we go. Increase to 70.
Success! Now it's time to bring her back up. This is one of the stations we can operate the winch system from. Oh, who's that? Hey, Larkin!
So they just got mud from the core. We went down to 5,300 meters and they pulled mud out from the ocean floor and brought it all the way back up to the surface and put it into a bucket for me, and now I bagged it. I have mud from 5,300 meters below the ocean surface. So now I bagged it, and I'm going to keep it refrigerated until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking bowls, but I'm not sure yet. I have to do a little bit more research. I am like through the roof excited right now. My inner nerd is freaking out right now. I'm helping them carry around some of the equipment that we used to gather the mud, and it just feels really cool. Like I'm holding a piece of equipment that was 5,300 meters below the surface.
Thank you all so much for joining me. Be sure to tune in next week for a backstage pass into the lab. What are these scientists doing with this mud anyway? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please send them below. Oh, and don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons. It really does make a difference. See you all next time on My Salty Sea Life. Mahalo.